Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Let's say I have a child, and I don't know, my child is involved in an awful and tragic criminal act as a victim, and the police doesn't intervene, or the police doesn't do its job, which is protect, and serve and protect. And let's say I say, well, what's the purpose of the police if they can't do their job? Would that be a rhetorical anti-police question? Am I anti-police? Asking what the hell is your purpose if you can't even protect citizens? That's your main goal, that's your main job. Or that's an assessment of reality and a conclusion based on the facts. So you can call it anti, but calling it anti-police is just meant to make me keep quiet, because it's a reality. If you did not protect my child, did not intervene, did you not help me or help my child, why in the hell you're around then? You know what I mean? I'm not going to go into details where they're around or not. The point is, if I criticize someone for doing something bad, that doesn't mean I'm anti that person. I'm just observing that person fucked up, and I'm going to call him out and say, hey, Gigi, fucked up right here. Like your boss will call you and say, hey, Mikey, you screwed up here. You're going to say, well, you're anti-Gigi? You're not going to say that, because it was your duty. Job description, right there. So you're not going to say, hey, you're anti-me. You're singling me out. I heard Weasel saying that. Of course I'm singling you out, because you, the only you, fucked up here. So yes, you, I'm not anybody else, it's you. I'm singling extremely you, because you fucked up here. So yes, it's you. I'm singling you out 100%. Yeah, maybe people who don't live in America or Canada, or maybe other countries where these guys got crazy, they don't understand that employees use this thing. They fucked up something, and then when the boss calls them, manager, supervisor, whomever, say, hey, you screwed up here. Are you singling me out? And they expect you to say, to be on the defensive and scared. Oh, no. He's going to call the union. Call your fucking worthless union, I must add. Go and call it. Yes, I'm singling you out, because it's you, Gigi, who fucked up this. So yes, it's you and this. Pop. There's not Mikey, Tommy, or whomever. But that's the way they're taught, where? In school. I accidentally did that. No, you didn't do it accidentally. You didn't pay attention. It's your fault. Wait, it was an accident. No, it wasn't. If you have a knife in your hand and you hold it like that, and you go behind the girl and something happens, that's not by accident you stabbed her in the back of the neck. It was an accident. No, it wasn't. It was negligence. Or maybe something else. But that's how people are. I have children. And I had them, they came with these kind of things, like accident. No, it was not an accident. But they are looking at like, what? I remember the first times when I said, no, it was not. What are you talking about? I accidentally did this. No, you didn't do it accidentally. You didn't care. You didn't pay attention. You didn't think. And by accident, crimes occur, and you're going to be liable for that. So let's see what's going on here. I started with that because we have Viktor Orban, the great Hungarian prime minister, elected 4 times, okay? And he is for the Hungarians, not for the European Union or Brussels or anybody else, because he got voted in office by the Hungarians, not by Brussels, okay? Not the citizens of Brussels or those weasels over there, von der Leyen and Borrell and all the others. They were not voted by the people, actually, just so you know. Neither Borrell nor von der Leyen, Ursula were voted by the people. Orban was voted in the office by the Hungarian people. It's very important. Hungarian people. Right, so what happened? He's asking this rhetorical anti-European Union question. And here is the article. Bloomberg, Orban ramps up anti-EU rhetoric by asking what's the point? And you're going to find out what's the point. It's exactly what I said about the police. What's the point having police officers when they don't do their job? They're supposed to serve and protect, and they didn't. What's the point in having them? That's exactly what he asks about the European Union, and Bloomberg paints it as anti-EU rhetoric. So you know, Bloomberg is not here to inform. It's to form an opinion. Okay? That's why they are here. Now let's go and see what's going on. May 12, 2023. Veszprém, I've been to Veszprém, in Hungary, is one of the European, I think I've been over there in the championship, one of the European Union's cities of culture this year, an initiative designed to foster cooperation and unity across the continent. On a visit there on Friday, Prime Minister Viktor Orban questioned whether there was a need for the European Union at all. Okay, Orban, tell us what you have in mind. I mean, that's your statement. Let's see. In a speech in the western city, Orban hit out at the European Union for an economic slowdown, which is affecting more of the globe, and for its response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This is whistle talk, okay, all that, but you'll see why. And I'm quoting, "The modern form of European collaboration was driven by two missions." So he says there were two missions that the European Union was formed for, and the collaboration. And he says, peace, not PP, peace and welfare. Orban said, and I'm quoting, "If it can't fulfill its two original missions, then what's the point of the EU? Serve and protect. If you can't do that, what's the point of having a police then?" And here it is labeled as anti-EU rhetoric. You see? So he's a bad dude from the very beginning. Right? But if you go deeper, you find out that they failed that. Why? Economic, they're screwed. And the other one with peace, what happens in Ukraine? And it's also, they bear responsibility for that. Yes, I know it's unprovoked Russian attack, but, you know, those are what we are supposed to think. But, you know, if you have half of brain, you... Anyway. The Hungarian premier's anti-EU rhetoric, second time, okay, has intensified since Brussels stepped up financial pressure on his country. Now listen to this. Clashes with the bloc over rule of law and corruption have led Brussels to withhold more than 30 billion of aid. So they said that the rule of law, right, the rule of law and corruption in Hungary made Brussels assess that rule of law and corruption, you know, there's no rule of law or lacks rule of law, and it's a lot of corruption in Hungary, and therefore they will not give Hungary $30 billion. But guess who Brussels gives money, billions of dollars, to Ukraine, which is 100% abiding and using the rule of law, that's 100%, and is not corrupt whatsoever. So you understand the hypocrisy here? Yet that's also raised speculation. Well, it's just speculation. Excuse me, we don't care, because I can speculate a lot of things. I can speculate that my neighbor is a vampire. All right? Got it? Speculation about whether Orban intends to eventually lead Hungary out of the EU, something the government has repeatedly denied. Well, if your clothes starts hurting you, what are you going to do? Take them off and let them go. So if Hungary is so top, you know, it's corrupt and doesn't follow the rule of law, why do you want to keep them in? Let them go. Oh no, you want to keep them in? Oh, they're vassal state of the big boss through you. Got it. And they're NATO too. So they have two strikes. One, NATO, you can't really let go. And the second one is European Union. These guys are not allowed to leave. You say, well, how about Brexit? Brexit is not a plantation worker, the one that cuts the sugar cane. Not that one. Great Britain is the house servant. So he's looking down the window and say, those idiots. Let me relax a little bit. Bring me a coffee. Okay, sir. Master, I'm going to bring it right now. You know, but he's not going to be in the hot sun over there with a whip or, are you running? I bet I can hit him in the back of the head. Boo! Right? It's not going to be like that. So that's why Britain was allowed, because Britain has always been in between, and Britain is not Hungary, okay? Let's put it this way. It's Anglo-Saxon connection, it's historical connection, it's the nuclear weapons, it's the economy, it's many things, you know, as Charles de Gaulle, General Charles de Gaulle, France, used to say when he was speaking with the other European weasel leaders. Remember two things about the United States of America. Remember two things when we were talking about these guys, the weasels. United States does not live on the continent here. They live far away. And a second, Great Britain or England is an island. All right? These two things. Well, look what you have, Macron. So let's see what else, what other rhetoric this guy brought. Because Ukraine is so not corrupt. Yet, that's also raised speculation about him wanting to gain, but he repeatedly denied. Who cares, right? Orban has argued that the European Union should lift sanctions imposed on Russia, measure he has blamed for a deepening recession in Hungary. Well, if they say so, must be, and they have numbers to prove that. And not only in Hungary, in Europe as well. I don't know if it's a recession, but the things are bad. He also, I'm going to have an article here ready with the Germans that are going to impose rations and electricity and energy rations. So when you're going to consume too much at one point, they're going to cut off your electricity. You reached your level, bye-bye, call me back, never. Click, you're not going to speak with a human being again. I have an article right there, ready for you. And I spoke about this in maybe April, when I started saying about we're going to impose sanctions on Russia, electricity, energy and all that. I say, guys, you're going to become like the communist Romania, socialist Romania in the late 80s, when they were turning off the lights and all. These guys want you not to use certain things. You're going to be depending on them 100%. 100%. Why? For the global warming, for instance. You can't use a car anymore. You can't use, whatever. You use only electric, as electricity comes from where? And so on. It's just unbelievable, but they're going to get us. They're working on it. So let's see what does this guy say. He also urged the EU to consider cutting off aid to Ukraine. Yeah, we don't give me $30 billion, but they give those weasels. As a way to end the war. That is not only his opinion, he's also the weasel Borrell. I covered that in a video yesterday when Borrell said, if the West doesn't send weapons anymore and ammunition, Ukraine will talk to Putin in 2 days. That's what he said. And I think the idiot was right. Something critics have said was effectively calling for the capitulation of Hungary's eastern neighbor. But when Borrell didn't say that, but he was just, well, if you do that, that's going to happen. This guy said, stop that if you want to stop the war. Oh my God, you're on our side or Putin's side, right? Meanwhile, the most recent semi-annual Eurobarometer poll conducted by the EU registered a 12 percentage point decrease in support among Ukrainians for the EU. I wonder why. Because of the, propaganda machine of Orban, right? Yes. The sharpest drop among any of its 27 members. It still remains higher, though, than in Slovakia and Czech Republic, who are sucking, you know what, to give the Ukrainians everything they need, including MiG-29s, tanks, all kind of MLRSs and whatever they howitzers, whatever they have, their wives, take them, children to grow them and put them over there. It's that's what it is. I mean, you don't believe me? Just watch some of my videos, about, I don't know, 50 of them, talking about what these guys gave to Ukraine. Yeah, because Ukraine is not a corrupt country, and Ukraine is with the rule of law, but somehow it banned political parties. Ukraine somehow it banned some newspapers, some media outlets. All right, banned some religious group. Okay, some had some problems with minorities, Russian, Romanian, and Hungarian, and Poles are next. No, but they have the rule of law. They find all kind of collaborators, which is not called the purge. It's just, taking care of the collaborators with the Russians. But they are not corrupt. Have you seen those guys that are arrested and said, hey, those are just collaborators? That, you know what I mean? That was not only collaborators. They said they were corrupt. Yes, we fight corruption. We put this law. Yeah, we're not corrupt. Everything is just the rule of law on paper. So anyway, this is with Orban. This is how they want to paint Orban. I don't know what's going to happen with him, but probably if at one point Hungary would look at, ups and downs, profit and whatever you got, good or bad, and they said good to stay is like this and bad to stay is like this, we're going to go. I mean, you go to a shitty movie and you paid money, what are you going to do? Stay over there because of the money? You get the hell out and do something else. And don't waste your time over there, if your time is valuable, obviously. If it's not, just maybe if you have someone next to you, maybe you got some ideas. I'm talking about a girlfriend, not guys to rob or anything like that, if you know what I mean. So anyway, my friends, this is it. Orban, yeah, he's anti-EU because he just doing what? He just noticed the obvious and he says the emperor has no clothes. Yeah, basically, technically, literally, just to use this weasel's semantics. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.